This podcast will contain opinions, some of which you will like, some of which you won't. So suck it up.
Listening to an old man trapped in a world he no longer understands.
My current top 10 favorite impersonations. This will be the bollocks of the dog.
Hello again, it's me with more stuff. I thought this week I'd like to talk about impersonations or impersonators. It's something which lends itself to short form of online bits and pieces, clips, fragments and so forth. I'm going to be going towards some unusual impersonations, I think, and certainly some names which some of you will know and some of you won't know. So you'll have to take my word on this one. But TikTok and Instagram seem to be the ideal homes for the impersonator. I don't think it's a surprise when you see a lot of impersonators talk about being multi-talented, multifaceted. Impersonations are probably something they do to draw attention to themselves as actors. Really, all impersonations depend on truth, that very shadowy idea of authenticity, which again, of course, is incredibly subjective and depends entirely on your understanding of that character that they're impersonating and indeed the situation. All good comedy relies on context. I think impersonators are really commentators, kind of social writers. They assemble information in a way that meets the understanding of an audience. As I said, in a glib fashion, it provides the laughter of recognition. In a simple way, I just think that a comic impersonation is basically about clarifying a personality or a phenomenon. It's about announcing culturally and socially agreed definitions of a person's appearance, voice, or attitude. What I'm planning to do is focus on a mix of well-known voices and some voices that you won't know. I just feel these are really great impersonations that people should see, from names that at least people should be aware of. I must admit my heart drops when I see the list of impersonations include, Matthew McConaughey, Christopher Walken, Donald Trump, Jennifer Coolidge, Michael Caine, Drew Barrymore, Owen Wilson, Al Pacino, Nicolas Cage, John C. Reilly, Robert De Niro. That's understandable because comedians have to hit or try and ride the algorithms now. And to do that, you have to present characters and people, politicians and so forth, who everybody knows. And those names I mentioned, those actors and those politicians and names I mentioned, they're often really what I mean by impersonations of impersonations. New material hasn't really been added. What we're getting is a replaying of a kind of understanding of what a comic impersonation is of that person. But I want to start off with this one. Number 1, Joe Gaudette. He's an American voice actor. He's appeared as 3 characters in Five Nights at Freddy's, Ultimate Custom Nights, and he played Radar in Astro Blast on NBC Kids. He's also voiced numerous national commercials, including spots for PAM Cooking Spray, Arm & Hammer Foot Care, and First Data. And he's also brought in to act as a vocal double when, kind of dubbing old movies or retrieving old damaged soundtracks. But he's really well known for a brace of great performances. He does Michael J. Fox. Fantastic Ryan Reynolds, which I think probably the lodestone for many other ones that followed.
First up, quarantine coffee. It's just like regular coffee, except it has gin in it. Also, no coffee.
And Christian Bale.
Walking around on your own 2 feet, making a living doing something you love, selling a penny a paper. I would do anything to be part of your world. So I'm making health conscious food. Son of a bitch! Why did you tell me that was hot?
But his best, and by far I think his most comprehensive, is that of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He gets the accent, he gets the rhythms, the tones. I don't think anyone does a better Schwarzenegger than Get Out, to be honest, but have a look at this.
Hey, so we're Dunkin'. I'm in the drive-thru and they will order, and it'll be so great and fantastic that I'll be back. Hi, could I have the large blueberry oat cold brew, please?
Large blueberry cold brew?
Exactly. And also the 2 for 2 egg and cheese wake-up wraps, and then also the 2 for 3 sausage, egg and cheese wake-up wraps, please.
Okay.
That is it.
944.
Hey, thank you. So now that I'm home, I will enjoy the coffee in the first sips right here. Oh, this is amazing. I'm going to terminate the rest of this cold brew, right? Hasta la vista, baby.
2.
Alison Getson. I don't know anything about her at all. She just turned up in my Instagram feed and I was like, wow, this is good. She does a whole range of female artists and actors. Her main hits tend to be people like Jennifer Aniston and Sydney Sweeney. Her Sydney Sweeney is uncanny, and you can tell that's probably what's hit the algorithms more than Aniston, although I have to say, I think her Aniston is the best I've seen.
You need surgery. It's wild.
Isn't that cute? It's for my niece. Ugh, God, forgot to mail it.
Have a listen to this. This is her Sydney Sweeney, the famous actor from TV shows like Euphoria. But what this great impersonation capitalises on are cultural impressions. They lead into the imagination. We have the information of the real person, and then a great impersonator takes those ideas and extends them into the areas of almost like character creation. So they're not just a study, they move more into a creative sphere. And have a listen to this, she's terrific.
What's in my bag? Don't laugh at me. I have a lot of lip glosses. Like crazy. This is my favorite.
Hi. Can I just get a regular coffee, please? Extra cream. Thank you.
3.
Jonathan Kite.
Jonathan Kite is a stand-up comedian known for 120 celebrity impressions. That include Vince Vaughn, which appears to be his personal favourite.
And I'm passing the phone back to Jonathan Kite, the man of 1,000 voices and 0 sleep. I mean, this guy never sleeps, which is why his eyes always look like they're traveling with carry-on luggage.
Tom Hanks.
It's America's favorite actor, Tom Hanks, and welcome to my book club, where all the books are about war.
Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Robert Downey Jr., Seth Rogen, Mark Wahlberg, Ian McKellen, Jeff Bridges.
What is this place? Starbucks? What do you got? Oh, coffee, man. I ain't into that, brother, man. I'll have a pot brownie.
Anthony Bourdain, Liam Neeson, all of which are presented really quite impeccably. He's a really, really good stand-up comedian and impersonator. He was also a well-known actor as a side performer in the sitcom Two Broke Girls. Here he does John Lithgow. Who does a John Lithgow impersonation? That's what I have to ask myself. Jonathan Kite does, and he does a fantastic job. Have a quick look at this one.
I'm passing the phone to someone who can make even reading a grocery list sound like a Shakespearean tragedy. We listen, we don't judge. Well, not me. I judge all the time. Shrek, green is a terrible color on you.
4.
Tony Lapidus.
Hello, my name's Vicky Gervais, and people always say to me, oh, you're an entertainer, you're an impersonator, why don't you try to impersonate him? Oh, here's a little reason, maybe because he's almost disabled.
Not much known about Lapidus, really. I know that he's a voiceover artist. He appears on various podcasts as a guest impersonator. He delivers impersonations that blur the lines between satire and reality, featuring politicians, pundits, media personalities and entertainment icons, including Jimmy Carr, various sports personalities. Lapidus' innovative impulse lies in his focusing on political commentators. He does a great Tucker Carlson, which now has become on a lot of people's lists.
But the US government tells us every single year that we have to put up different colored lights. What is that? Different colored lights? I like lights. I have lights. But why do they have to be the colors of the rainbow, the colors of gay? Don't want to look at gay lights all day. Sorry. Don't want to look at them.
He does a fantastic Owen Jones.
This will shock and appall you, and if it doesn't, you are disgusting. There is no other word for you. You're a disgusting individual.
He has a great James O'Brien.
the wave of humanity that is currently engulfing you and Suter.
They're original, they're thoughtful, and they take a bit of confidence to try and riff or to try and improvise, as Peter Hitchens, which is the impersonation I'm going to talk about here. That takes some real spine, I have to say. You've got to be pretty confident in yourself as an improviser, as in someone that can maybe construct long sentences and long paragraphs in that person's voice, especially when Hitchens is known as being very articulate and having a very specific delivery and register. Uses of quite unusual language, cultural and historical references, all of which roll off the tongue as though he is basically inhabiting Peter Hitchens. I think it's a fantastic impersonation.
How do you not go along with something like that? What does that mean?
Well, what do you think it means? It means if it's 5 o'clock to you, it's 6 o'clock to me.
Oh, come on, Peter. Everyone knows it's 5 o'clock.
No, it's not 5 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. How do you still not know this? As I must say, I feel like I've been duped in invited here into false pretenses by you. I came here to discuss a variety of topics. I didn't come here to discuss for an hour the idea of giving an hour to people who are obsessed with drugs. I have no idea what you actually are or what you stand for. You've taken on the role over the past decades as a sort of chameleon. I mean, what do you stand for? You've changed direction so much you make a weather cult look like a signpost.
5.
Sarah Rachel Lazarus. She's an actress, comedian, writer, producer and podcast. She has scored a lot on TikTok. She heads more towards a very theatrical comedy drag sensibility. She does a lot of usual impersonations, sort of Jennifer Coolidge, who she's been in contact with. She is a very powerful, energetic performer, but I think a real stroke of genius is her impersonation of Joan Cusack. She's been on Funny or Die, Broadway Beat, and has worked with Elizabeth Banks. When she's not performing, she's written and created satirical political pieces featuring drag performers from RuPaul's Drag Race and many organisations, including the Florida Democratic Party, March On and the Future Coalition. But her take on Joan Cusack is astonishing, where she basically does Cusack in various different roles which are counter to the persona, which, as we know, is a very distinctive, neurotic, kind of hyperactive delivery. But check this out. I think she does this regularly. She comes back to her regularly, and I really can't get enough of it. I think it's an incredible impersonation.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't enjoy hurting anybody. I don't guns or bombs or electric chairs. But sometimes people just won't listen. And so I have to use persuasion and slides. My parents, Sharon and Dave, generous, doting, or were they? All I ever wanted was a ballerina Barbie and a pretty pink tutu for my birthday. I was 10, and you know what they got me? Malibu Barbie! Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
6.
Terry Minot. I'm going to be singing Minot's praises forever. I think he's great. He's done a shed load of really great impersonations. Check out his Instagram feed. He's also gone back on the road as a stand-up comedian. A brilliant impersonator, has always kind of come up with something creative and interesting. I think of him in different terms to a lot of the impersonators on these lists, in that he is very much a writer as much as an impersonator. He starred in The Mimic, a very underrated Channel 4 sitcom.
No, Potter, no.
Oh, it's Harry Potter. I like it when you do ones that people recognise.
Previously appeared in Very Important People, again for Channel 4. Minor also released Moon Carter, a surreal fantasy podcast series designed for both children and adults.
Because they're the same in everything. Even if I was in Star Wars, I'd be like, Luke, I'm your father. Oh, God, your mother's worried about you. You should come downstairs.
He has to hit the algorithm, and you'll see in a lot of his feed, there's an awful lot of Donald Trump. His Alan Partridge is just impeccable.
It's Christmas, and it's an important reminder that all sorts of people will be gathering at the dinner table, especially as you stare point-blankly into the smoky bacon, blood vessel bursting, xenophobic opinion face of your uncle, who, although has had quite a magical life, is in fact desperately angry for no reason. And it's important to maintain your decorum and your compassion and say, whoa, I'm listening to your opinion, but I don't quite like it. Remember, opinions are like arseholes. A lot of them need wiping. Or employing the use of a bidet, although it's a very bad rap. Some of those bumholes that do use bidets are some of the cleanest in the world. Ask Japanese people.
But for me, it's his Peter O'Toole stories. Minot has created this comic world around his impersonation. He plays O'Toole as a raconteur. Various strange and absurdist stories surrounding a mythical bar called Nathaniel's and his errant friend Jeremy. They are dotted throughout his feed, and I really can't recommend them highly enough. They are superbly written and delivered. Again, someone who works well with very complex sentence structures, complex ideas, and yet not for any minute dropping the integrity, the credibility of the impersonation itself.
1967. On a routine flight somewhere out in the Pacific, Jeremy, my co-pilot, and I lost both engines and had to put it down in the soup. After a rather uneventful crash landing, but losing most of the crew to a shark attack, apart from me, Jeremy, and the kind of beautiful, if not a little bit chubby, borderline racist opinions, and a terrible obsession with banger racing, Deborah Odudu, the nurse from the Isle of Wight. We survived for 38 days until eventually she died, and it broke my heart. That evening in front of the fire, me and Jeremy hit a new all-time low as we ate her. Good Lord, Jeremy said. I think we're going to die. I think you're right, I said, as I chucked another chunky thigh on the fire. What's that he said out at sea? Good Lord, I said, it can't be, is it? That's the flickering lights of a deal or no deal machine. It can't be, he said. That's the bright beckoning lights we said in unison of Nathaniel's. Good Lord, Ginny was always talking about getting a captain's license and putting the pub on the ocean. We stood up, kicked the rest of the dead bitch in the fire and swam out.
7.
Josh Berry.
He began his career doing impressions of tennis players, appearing on the BBC's Live at Wimbledon series aged just 16. And really that's how he started off making his kind of way into showbiz, is doing impersonations of Andy Murray.
Well, then people can decide whether it's a good impression.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good impression.
Really?
Yeah.
And various other high-ranking tennis players. The one I want to talk about here is his incredible take on Louis Theroux, where he, like so many of these artists, gets into the head of the character and also presents a note-perfect replication of his voice, intonation and mannerisms.
Are you getting triggered?
He also does impersonations of people like James Acaster.
Well, first impressions straight away. I hit the ground running, chasing that sweet, sweet comedy nectar, like some sort of ravenous comedy.
Jimmy Carr.
Really not very good. I didn't rate it. Do not go and watch the show.
He's also worked on Dead Ringers and Radio 4 Extra's Newsjack. And here he is doing Louis Theroux.
Do you really think you can endorse Gary's economics and also enjoy an ottolenghi salad at the same time? Do you not think that seems a bit contradictory? Yeah, I don't know if I really think that's a good thing to do, is it? Yeah. Do you feel like giving ceviche to a food bank is a charitable act? I don't know if Oh, it's Louis.
Eight.
Carissa, Bosganakis!
I'm a big fan of Charissa Bossanakis. She is more of a stand-up comedian. She's worked in Australia and has enjoyed a great deal of success in the Melbourne area. She's been part of the Melbourne International Comedy Circuit and was handpicked to become part of the Sydney Comedy Festival's fresh lineup of upcoming comics for 2018. She returned to the Melbourne International Comedy Festival in 2019, and with her second hour show Paquito managed to sell out and achieve a raft of rave reviews. Impersonations are few and far between, as I said. Really, she's more of a kind of stand-up comedian. But her Gal Gadot, who of course is the Israeli actor who was Wonder Woman for a short period in the DC Extended Universe, is really quite something.
Hell no! Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone.
It's become the kind of high watermark. It's one of those impersonations where you can almost feel people are not so much doing Gal Gadot these days, but they're doing Bossanakis doing Gal Gadot. But Bossanakis does an incredible job here, and I'd absolutely recommend it highly.
Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. And enough champagne to fill the Nile. Mirror, mirror, magic mirror, who is the fairest of them all? It is our sacred duty, and I'm going to help them. Kyle, no! Hi, you guys. Sorry I'm late. I was just getting my eyebrows done. No, it's just a little joke to break the ice. Okay, so, like, Odysseus, do you, want to tell me what's going on so I can help you? Eurystheus, I need to know how my men and I can get home safely. Okay. Yeah, no, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. So, you'll make it home, but your men, it's not looking so good. I'm so sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. And before I forget, Oedipus, don't let you or your men eat the cattle of the sun gods. And we've also got some dead people who would love to say hi to you. I've got Agamemnon here. Yeah, no, he's dead. I was shocked too. What's Ithaca like? I really want to go in September with the kids. It'd be so fun. Okay, well, it was good seeing you. I joke, because, yeah.
9.
Mr. Lewis MacLeod.
Hello, I am Sir Ian McKellen, National Treasure, Knight of the Realm, and Protector of Middle-earth. So, the other day, I had a telephone call.
I'm more convinced than ever that there is more intelligent life out there in the universe. But what we want is the White House to release more footage.
Well, it's not true. It was a hoax from Radio Caroline. I'm very much alive and well, thank you for asking.
And you know, when it gets this hot, there's one place I like to go where it's absolutely teeming with life. Everything, cheek by jowl, things get broken, fall down. The bottle bank. Get in, you bastard.
They don't come much better than Lewis MacLeod, who worked on actually some of the Star Wars films, has worked on the Mr. Men Show, Little Big Planet, Postman Pat, and various video games such as War of the Worlds, Harry Potter. Fantastic, celebrated voice actor. And he's also appeared in shows such as Look Around You, Phoenix Nights, Endeavour, The Crown. And he's well known for his appearances on Head Cases, 2D TV, and Dead Ringers, where his US President Donald Trump impersonation has really cut through, I think, for him, and has provided him with some welcome viral moments.
Great job. It is a great honor for you to hear me tell you about the latest war I've ended. I'm stopping wars everywhere. 7 since I began this speech, including the War of the Roses, the War of the Worlds, War for Planet of the Apes, War Horse, World War Z, Star Wars, and the Civil War in America. I'm working on that one in the moment.
I think his best impersonation, or the one that I like the most, and certainly one that chimes with me, is that of Jeremy Vine. It's an amazing impersonation. Technically, it's quite remarkable. MacLeod, who's a very intelligent actor, takes an aspect of a culturally agreed set of impressions of a presenter or performer, and then extend parts of them into comic absurdity.
BBC Radio 2, that's Ed Sheeran. Love that song. So, first today, as you heard in the main news on Radio 2, Brexit is to be turned into a film. It's got all the hallmarks of, say, the recent Star Wars Last Jedi movie. It's expensive, and those who don't like it won't stop complaining about it. But now it's set to become a film, with Jennifer Lawrence and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And we've got a clip.
This blue area here represents all the ethnic minorities on the list. No, I can't see it either.
10.
James Austin Johnson. To finish off with, one of my favourite impersonations, I have to say. James Austin Johnson, who I think does the best Donald J. Trump impersonation. It's been superseded by recent events, sadly, and that is now Donald Trump does just talk continually off at tangents, and often he sounds more like James Austin Johnson than he does Donald Trump. Johnson's now a regular cast member on the NBC sketch show comedy television series Saturday Night Live as a featured player for the show's 47th season in 2021, where he does both Donald Trump and Joe Biden. The best Donald Trump impersonations from James Austin Johnson are the ones which he did sticking a camera in his face and walking around Atlanta or wherever he was touring and just improvising as Donald Trump. Austin Johnson's gift was take Trump talking not about politics, talk about Pokemon or Scooby-Doo or Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
But we love to say Indy, we love Indiana Jones, but where's Shia? We're looking at Dial Destiny and we're saying, where's Shia? Where's Shia? Where's Shia? And we don't know where he is. He's not in Transformers and he's not in Indy. You know what he's doing? He's doing Indy. He's not doing Indy. He's doing Indies, right? He's got other Indies to do. But we know what Indy is. Indy's the dog and it's the scientist who has the whip, and he does so good with whip. I mean, when you look at what he is able to do with whip, he did it so much better than Mutt. And that's why there's no Shia. There's no Mutt. Adam Driver, Kylo killed him, and we said, don't go. We need Dial Destiny. We need Dial Destiny. Come back, sir. Sir, come back. I get big boys, big fellas, tears in their eyes. Chewbacca, he said, sir, I've eaten all the porgs, and now Harrison is not coming back. I said, stick around for Dial Destiny because Ford's going to be back.
His idea was that really Trump had lost his mind and was just rambling on about various things which are inconsequential, that he knows nothing about, but still applies that incredible sense of certainty and authority to what are essentially absurdist situations. He also brought in different dynamics to the voice, the growl, which is, his voice has been wrecked for years, talking on the rally circuit. It's a brilliant impersonation. As I said, I think it's sort of now become superseded by reality. But James Austin Johnson's Donald Trump was a work of art. Definitely worth checking out those very early videos in which he just sat in the back of a car talking about video games in great detail. Amazing.
Sir, you've got 100 more Pokemon you have to catch. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? Pikachu has a baby now. We didn't like it. We thought that was, frankly, if you are adding in babies where there weren't babies before, that is not real, okay? That is not the original system that that the founding fathers had envisioned, okay? And then you have somebody like Professor Oak, who, by the way, gets $1 million every time someone dies of the Pokevirus, okay? And Professor Oak, after the election, we're going to be doing something about Professor Oak. Very soon, we are going to be doing something about Professor Oak, who is not with our people, is he? He's not with our people. And we are going to stop the count at 252.
Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more films and items of interest.
Might well come back to this. There's so many names I wanted to put on this list. You've only got 12. It's always going to be hard to narrow that down. And I'm always on the lookout for good impersonations. And if there's any impersonators you think I need to see or hear, let me know below in the comments and I'll check them out. Drive the algorithm towards me. And I'll see you again for more The Old Manosphere. Have a good week. Hope you're well. See ya.
You want to go yourself.